Hey everybody! Welcome to my channel, and today I wanted to talk about a book I read called Configured by Janetta Penner. So this book was published in 2016. It is part of the Configured trilogy. I am not getting the second book until Tuesday. I'm actually borrowing this from a friend, and this is about a girl named Evelyn Lark who lives in a sort of futuristic society, and they're led by the Direction, who's led by a sort of director. And so you're not really allowed to have emotions in this world. That is considered bad, unwanted. And in this world, there are level 1, 2, and 3 citizens. She was born a level 1, but somehow got moved to a level 2. So it already presents itself in like the first 30 or so pages as something that's really compelling, just all around should be read. It seems good. And so she has configuration day, which is where she kind of gets assigned her new job for the future. And so she goes to something called Genesis Technologies, or Gentech is what they say in here. And I'm not gonna lie, it took me a really long time to actually understand what Gentech was. Gentech is kind of the government agency that monitors every single citizen that is here, like that lives there. And so Evelyn has always felt kind of different from everyone else, kind of, she doesn't fit in with them. And so she's very good at coding, and she's been realizing that she can like see things, or like when she's doing coding, she can almost go into the code and the code is in front of her and she can move it with her hands and command it. Quick hair fix. So she soon becomes part of a rebel group called Affinity, and she meets a man named Meyer, a new neighbor named Lena, and kind of the Commander Ruiz. And so this book, because it's the first in the trilogy, what happens is there's a lot of exposition. It is very heavy on exposition for this first one. So it's heavy on the exposition, and there's a lot of world building and character development in the first one, but it still has its really good moments. Like with her level 2 parents that she's been assigned to, because she had a birth mother, but she doesn't live with her. Because, as I had said, she was born level 1 but moved up to level 2, so she has new parents. So everything with her parents is just really good, because her parents are not loving people. They are completely, like, under control from Direction. They follow what Direction says. They do everything that they are told to do. They are kind of the model citizens. And seeing her interactions with them, and I don't want to give any spoilers away, but seeing the interactions that she has with them, it's very compelling, because near the end, you can see that they're changing. They're understanding that things aren't as the Direction said, things aren't as they seem, and things need to be a bit different in general. Another thing I liked is the idea that they have like flex bands. It's like a thing you wear, and it gives you information on like where things are, what's going on, and it also is a way that you can be tracked. So I just think the technology in here is really cool. But I wasn't a fan of everything in the book. Like when she joins Affinity, she gets an EP, and she can go into a sim world. Okay. This was probably my least favorite part of the book. She goes into the sim world, and to me the whole sim world, I didn't like it. I understood the idea, but I just was not a fan. I thought it was... Chair, please stop. I thought the whole idea of the sim world was honestly kind of stupid. But, so she can go in there and she can train, or she can just go and relax in there. She can be in there with other people, and she's in there with Maya, and sometimes Meyer. Sometimes she's in there with her neighbor, and it's kind of a mess. Like, I thought the whole sim world was really messy. And, like, overall, she goes in there to train. Sometimes she gets target practice. And I just didn't want to read those parts. But when she's doing her coding stuff, like her software coding, hacking stuff, I was like, you know what, that's an okay part. It wasn't like, man, I hate this, like I dislike the sim stuff, but it also wasn't like, man, I love this, like how I love the parts with her parents. With this stuff, it was like, it seemed extremely unrealistic, and I know maybe it was meant that way, but even in this world, it seemed like with the coding stuff, there really weren't any restrictions with it, because the idea was she would like see something and she would see the code up in front and she'd be able to say like, take me there, do this, do all this stuff, and it would just do it. And it didn't work. It wasn't as good as it could have been. It wasn't as entertaining. I mean, like, there were more parts in the book of coding than there were of these pairings that they get, where they're supposed to get, a spouse pairing contract. And I found myself being more interested in the spouse pairing contract than the actual, like, main reason that she's at Gentek, which is her coding and hacking. I was more interested in spouse pairings. I was more interested in her personal relationships. And in this first book, it really went heavy on we need to establish this character. We need to establish these people. We need to let them know what this world is. Allure, I think it's called. I'm never going to pronounce it right if it's not Allure. But it just didn't always work. However, I'm excited to get it on Tuesday because I want to see if maybe book 2 will be a bit better. There were also, I won't go too into detail, but there were some things in here where I was just like, there's no way he would have survived that. There's no way they would have lived. They would have been dead. So if you guys want, I can post a spoiler review, but as of right now, I'm not planning on it, but let me know. Alright, thanks for watching my video, guys. I hope you like it. If you did, leave a like, comment, and hit the subscribe button to get more book reviews. I think the next one I'm looking at is from my library. It is called, I have to cover up the library thing. It's called White Oleander. I feel bad, but I don't want to like get in trouble, so it's called White Oleander. It's about a girl who goes through different foster homes. A girl who goes through different foster homes after her mother murders someone. So I'm going to try to get that review up before I get the next configured book up. If you've read this book or this review made you go and read it, let me know in the comments what you thought about it, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you agreed with me on, what you disagreed on. If you were excited for the second and third book, because I wouldn't say I'm like very excited, but I am curious. I'd say out of 10, I would give this book a 7.5, because there were some really strong points, but there were also just some times when I was like, that ain't it. So thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all later. Bye.